looks to reliable and more sustainable sources of energy for the future, the fifth annual African Energy Week recently wrapped up in Cape Town, South Africa. One of the discussions at Africa's largest gathering of energy leaders, investors, and innovators was finding solutions to high energy bills. One such solution is efficient water heating that replaces traditional forms of water heating with heat pump technology. To discuss this energy technology, we're now joined by Roger Fawcett, who's founder and CEO of Mr. Heat Pump, an energy company based in Johannesburg, South Africa. Roger, good morning to you and thank you for making time.
No problem. Morning, Sandra.
So how reliable and energy efficient are current solutions for water heating offered by traditional methods if we look at South Africa and maybe the region as well?
You know, most residents in South Africa are using the old electric element geysers, which use a lot of power. And they use 65% of the monthly Eskom bill is water heating geysers. So we connect our heat pumps to those electric element geysers. We switch off the element when we connect the heat pump, and the heat pump then saves 70% monthly of that Eskom bill because it's very efficient in its water heating.
Talk to us about the kind of solutions that heat pumps offer in tackling this issue and how much energy they save. You say they save 70% in terms of the bill. Is it only monetary contributions?
Yeah, look, it's 70% saving of the bill. And for example, if the bill's 10,000 Rand a month, we will cut that bill in half to 5,000 Rand a month. So it's a massive saving monthly, especially for the bigger homes and for businesses, you know, places like hospitals, hotels, you know, all the bigger users of power. Heat pumps can do a massive saving for those bills.
Explain to us how this technology works. What advanced controls do they provide?
They've all got control keypads. So you set your temperature on the control keypad, for example, 55 degrees C, and that then the heat pump operates according to what temperature has been set on the control keypad. I'm not going to go into big technical jargon now about how a heat pump works, but just to give you a brief description, it uses very little power. So 1 kilowatt of power for an average heat pump on a domestic home instead of the 4 kilowatt of the electric element. So you can see already 4 kilowatt versus 1, so it's a ratio of 1 to 4. So 1 kilowatt of power, it's 70% saving.
How much of a reduction on our carbon footprint for the region can they contribute to?
Heat pumps work at zero carbon rating. So we emit zero carbon.
Let's talk about the history and application of heat pumps. When did their adoption become more widespread? For those of us who don't know, you know, that instead of using a geyser, one can use a heat pump.
Yeah, look, you still got to use the geyser as storage for hot water, and then you connect the heat pump to it. But heat pumps have been around since the early 1900s in Western Europe. And then they got their first breakthrough in New York City, the tall skyscrapers in New York City in the 1950s, where they installed a lot of heat pumps in New York City. So heat pumps have been around for over 100 years, the technology. So it's a tried and trusted technology. You know, lots of people have had the benefit of heat pumps in South Africa. We had in 2011, we had the Eskom rebate scheme, which gave a rebate of just approximately 4,000 Rand for anybody purchasing a heat pump. That ran for about a year until they ran out of money.
Does South Africa, currently as it is, have the necessary resources to adopt this option on a national power grid level? And if not, what is needed to grow the resources in order to ensure a greener future?
You know, the future for heat pumps in South Africa is very positive because of our climate. You know, we've got lots of sun, so the sun can warm up the air, the actual air that goes into the inlets of the heat pump, and that helps the heat pump to heat a lot quicker. So I think heat pumps in South Africa have a great future. If anyone wants to take a look at our website, it's www.mrheatpump, that's MR heatpump.co.za, or they can contact me on 083 434 8434, and we will attend to any of their energy savings.
Can they be adopted for both domestic and industrial use? And what devices can they be applied on?
Yeah, we do commercial and the domestic homes. We did the building in 2017. People in Joburg would remember the building, Leonardo Apartments in Sandton, Africa's tallest building at that time, 55 stories tall. We did that installation with commercial heat pumps, and the ROI, return on investment, was approximately 14 months. And the millions of rand they'd spent on that installation was all returned to them. So the commercial heat pumps give a fantastic return on investment in a short space of time.
How are they integrated into renewable energy sources like solar or wind power, these heat pumps?
Yeah, heat pumps can be connected to, if there's spare capacity on the inverter, the solar inverter, we can then connect the heat pump direct to the solar inverter, which means that your heat pump is now operating off the inverter and the solar panels operating totally off sun energy and not connected to the grid at all. So it's a fantastic innovation that we can connect to the grid, to the inverter, and that saves you 100%. You're totally off-grid. Your heat pump's now working off-grid.
Roger, thank you so much again for your time here on Channel Africa and educating us on this alternate energy solution.
You're welcome,